Welcome to the introduction of Open Educational Resources. Before we explain to you what you can do with OER, we would like to take a moment and talk about what OER is.
Open Educational Resources, or OER, are resources you can use freely for your own interests. These include full courses, course materials, models, textbooks, lecture notes, streaming videos, images, and more. These materials are in the public domain or introduced with an open license. While this may seem complicated, we will guide you through all information about OER. While OER materials can't be used commercially, they can be viewed, be mixed, reworked, or partly reused.
OER can be divided into two dimensions: pedagogical and digital. The pedagogical dimension contains resources-based learning with quality resources and good communication between teachers and students. The digital dimension contains that all the materials is shared on the internet and is globally available. This means it has to be open licensed. Everything in the public domain is not protected by copyright. The property rights of this material has been expired or inapplicable. This means for you that you can use it freely and you don't have to worry about the original creator. Example to find things in the public domains: archive.org.
Public domain is not the only way you can use free material. Everything that is being released under an open license permits you to use without paying for it. The author and creator of the content grants rights in advance and you don't have to ask for permission. The most common type of open license are Creative Commons license, CC.
If you see an attribution license or the icon, you know that you don't have to worry at all about the permission of the creator. With the knowledge about open license, you know what kind of material is an open educational resource. These materials are the solution for students and teachers to learn and educate yourself or others.
OER and e-learning are not necessarily the same. E-learning courses are not always open licensed and can cost money to take apart. But more and more institutions that use e-learning often include open educational resources for their students.
This is UNESCO's definition of OER. Open educational resources are any types of educational materials that are in the public domains or introduced with an open license. Anyone can legally and freely copy the material. Includes textbooks to curricula, syllabi, lecture notes, assignments, tests, projects, audio, video, and animation. Since 2002, UNESCO helped financing and supporting open educational resource projects. One example for the interest of UNESCO in the 2012 World Open Educational Resource Congress in Paris. Governments, NGOs, experts, and educators discussed open educational resource and tried to bring more attention to it. With the Paris OER Declaration, UNESCO tries to convince more nations to produce and support more OER with public funds to increase the chances of free quality education.
Here are some key points why you should be interested in OER. Save cost. Education is not always cheap and many students are struggling to finance learning material. OER gives you the opportunity to have an alternative and affordable learning option. More choices. The student has more options what and where he can get his information. Many institutions and universities offer great quality content and gives the student even more options. Better learning. You can decide more freely when and how you want to study. With OER, prior learning and after learning becomes easy for everybody.
The potential of open educational resources is huge. There will be a way better and bigger collaboration between educators and students at different institutions. It creates a completely new economic model for procuring and publishing learning materials. This medium will also help educators to be more effective, and they will have less work to do in the long run. It will add educational value and will create a more equal world by creating an equal learning standard.
To make an OER course, you need passion about the concept of openness. Without it, any attempts at advocacy are unlikely to succeed. Ability to engage the audiences effectively during presentations. Understanding of the pros and cons of different open licensing arrangements. Clarity on the economic benefits of OER, both in terms of marketing institutions, programs, and individuals, and in the cost-effectiveness of materials production. Up-to-date knowledge of arguments for and against use of OER.
Components of a good online course in higher education needs to be well designed. This means it has educational strategies and includes assessments. To be developed in a team. You can ensure good quality and the best experience for students with the collaboration of skills. Counseling and support for students. Help on an individual level is available. Quality assurance. Feedback by students and research and evaluation ensure ongoing quality. All other, already mentioned, key elements of OER need to be considered.
Guidelines for educators. Educators have the responsibility to create a teaching and learning environment that harness OER in educational effective ways. They need to develop skills to evaluate OER, assemble, adapt, and contextualize existing OER, use existing online networks to adapt, share and communicate experience, encourage students to participate, take feedback serious.
Guidelines for students. It's important that students have an active part in this educational system. They have to promote and understand OER, encourage to publish work as OER, take an active role in the process, give feedback, actively support OER development.
UNESCO has helped spur an international movement. It also hosts an open training platform, an OER database that has more than 10,000 resources. UNESCO also financially supports projects and tries raise awareness on the topic to ensure an important human right to free education.